All right. Michelle is back on this Wednesday. And I want to go into a little bit more details about the subject of the instructions were already attached. Okay. And so also let me share something. I got issues with my jaw. So if I'm carrying on and whatever, try to ignore it. I ain't recording this shit. Let's put it that way. God damn it. But so something that has always been important to me is to protect women, to protect children, and protect the elderly. Okay, and I do walk the talk in that regard. Okay, I mean I do. I protect women. Well, my duty, I think, and my strong will, I guess. I don't know, whatever term you want to use, but that's just what I do. I protect women, children, and the elderly. Okay, because no woman, no cry. All right, remember that. No woman, no cry. So that's why I do what I do, and why I put my ass out on, why I put myself in. Oh god damn! Why I'm making myself so transparent, even though I'm private. I mean, so because I had to release my ego, because a deeper part of me will always be protected. You are protected in truth. Trust me on that. You will be protected in truth. Okay, because truth is neutral. There's no hidden agenda. There's no materialism. There's no, there's no fraud and deception. Truth is truth. And the same thing is love. Love is love. It's the same thing. Okay. So if you have truth, you have love. Truth and love, I mean, they go together. Like male and like feminine and masculine, negative and positive, blah, blah, blah. Energy. Okay. Now, so those are my focus, I should say. And that's where I want to focus on the second half of my life, after I retired from a toxic environment, and how I picked up the narcissism. Oh, it is embedded in the fabric of certain certain careers, or certain positions and certain titles and all this kind of stuff. Leadership. That's it. Sorry. Narcissism is the fabric of certain leadership positions. Okay, and like I said, I can pick up the contradictions within the contradictions within the contradictions. I remember when I used to work in banking. I don't know how I survived it. Oh, good Lord. So I remember when I used to work in banking. Good gosh. And I used to hear these people, the management and leadership talking and giving all this, all this so-called motivational speech and it was just like, I felt, that's why I was feeling crazy, like, because I was hearing one thing, but seeing another. There was always a disconnect. Always. And so, and I used to say, like, do they realize what they're saying? It was never a connection. So that's why that's why I started asking a lot of questions. And then for people, like I said, no offense to the intellectuals. The intellectuals do not want to be wrong. They do not want to be wrong. Okay? The intellectuals will always pull that intellectual bullshit on you. They will. Okay? And, they're over talking you. They're defending their Princetons and their Harvard degrees, and they, flipping through books. Well, it says here in this book here, ma'am, that, they just carry on with that shit, And like I said, what's in these books, okay, is theories and opinions, and usually, okay. And yes, they're scientific. Even scientific things require constant monitoring, and as well carry errors and mistakes. Okay, that's just the nature of the law of the land. That's the law and order, right there. That's law and order. That's even scientific facts can be revised and revisited, and there are errors included in that as well. So it's just, so that's why I say I was going insane until I realized, okay, that's how I have to balance what I'm picking up from people, because they're contradictions, and we will contradict each other. That's part of growing. That's the nature of the beast. But you need to know that, and not so that you don't get so damn offended by it. When you see it, it's there, or when you hear it, when you feel it. There are the contradictions are there, and there's nowhere they're not going anywhere. Okay, again, you had instructions already attached as to how to deal with all this stuff, but no, you wanted to leapfrog over every messenger that came through space and time, and there've been plenty of them, and some of them you guys know because you're forever throwing their name out in the universe. Okay, they have been coming through space and time for millions of years, okay? Not 2,000 years, for millions of years, to relay messages to us. And to some extent, teach us. Teach us about the instructions already attached to us. But no, we didn't want to hear it. We disregarded it. And we want to go on our way and do our own thing. Well, you do have free will, and you can. But there are consequences. Okay, so now we're facing the consequences. We're facing the consequences. Now, narcissistic people. Okay. I can almost guarantee you know exactly what you're doing. Now, you complete ignorance. You know exactly what you're doing. You know how to draw a crowd. You know how to build a list. You know how to, create, become an instant influencer. And usually women are financing that. Okay? Women are financing all of this. While you go out and, talking and manipulating people in your speech and your tone and talking about how successful. If you use this formula, you will be successful. You know that's a goddamn lie. Okay, but you're so easy at convincing and influencing people to believe that, because it's a belief. Okay, and all you're participating in is deception. And you know that. And so, again, you are given the opportunity to change your ways, because you know what you're doing. And a lot of people that follow you are unsuspecting, unfortunately. And I had to learn that the hard way myself. And that's fine. You're supposed to learn. Okay, but you're not supposed to be manipulated and deceived and lose your livelihood over that. Because that's what they also do as well. These so-called influencers, leaders. I mean, those titles. When I'm talking, whatever. Because like I said, I'm not trying to influence anybody. Not particularly. I'm to the best of my ability, I'm talking in neutrality, but I have to use certain type of expressions just to get the attention. That's all. But for me, everything's free will. You can swipe the fuck out of me for all I care, because that's all we do. Anyway, swipe people on our cell phones. Okay, I don't like what she got to say. boom, and then we go to somebody that we resonate with. So each one of us are on a different consciousness level. Some of us are at a, some of us are kindergartners, and some of us are in high school. Okay, but we're still all equal. Okay, we're still all equal. Some of us have already graduated. Still all equal. Okay, so now I'm going to address these the influencers, and just and I want the people that are the people that are following these influencers to recognize what's happening to you. Now, I'm not doing anything to interfere with anybody's livelihood. That is not my intention. Okay, but you have to be creative and counter. That's all I'm saying. Elevate it. You do need to reinvent the wheel. You do need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, you need to come up with new formulas to evolve the consciousness, to involve it, to raise your level of providing for yourself, where it's not so much materialistic all the time, or we can release the material nature of it all. Okay, because yes, we all got to provide for ourselves. We all need housing, we all need transportation, we need food and clothing. So yes, we need those necessities. We need a proper infrastructure. We need proper climates, and we need all of that. But it's become a handful of people that want all of the resources all the time. I don't know when enough is enough. Is there enough? There should not be this huge gap in those that have and those that have not, because the have-nots are the ones financing you. So you better get it right at some point, because all of that's going to start turning on you. It's going to turn on your head, and your followers and your people that love you, or so they think. There's more infatuation, but they're supporting you, and they like you, and they think you're wonderful. They're going to turn on you because they know that they've been manipulated and taken advantage of. Madoff, remember Madoff? Okay. Who else? I mean, there's been many of them. That understand this. Even some of the psychiatrists and psychologists know this. They know they're manipulating. I can't remember that other big name. Yeah, you do need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, you should not be spinning. You should be elevating. Okay, and lifting your own self up, instead of having people financing you to be lifted up while they still stay on the ground and don't go nowhere. Okay, got me? Now, let me talk to the people who I suspect this is happening to you, being manipulated. And you don't need to be upset and be rational, be irrational. So let me just tell you what happened to me. That's why I know. I know it when I see it. I see it when I know it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So now, let me get this sun out of my face. Get the sun out of my pretty face. Yeah, I think we're good. Now, so it was it was around 2001, around that range, 2001, when I started. I used to have a lot of writing material, because I used to like to write and, express myself through writing, because I used to have journals. I remember one year I was just shit was just coming out of me. you know, storylines to this and that and the other. And, so I had that stuff there, and I said, well, okay, I'll consider what to do with it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with it. And so, after the after material was, out and, like rough drafts of it, I said, well, okay, now how I'm going to get it out, whatever. What am I going to do with it? So I decided to take marketing, taking a marketing course, because, I figured that's what you need, because, I'm not stupid, so, and we'll leave it there. So, over the course of time, when you used to type anything in your computer in the search bar, people will recognize that right away. There was this certain type of software, and I'm sure it's more advanced now. That's the danger, that anything you search for is other people or computers now. And I know they're computers now, or some type of artificial intelligence is capturing that. They know exactly what you're looking for. How about that? They know exactly what you're searching for. Okay, and so that's why it was so big back in the day. You remember when everybody had emails? When we started using emails, everybody kept wanting to build lists with those. You remember before it was phone numbers. Remember? Okay, it was phone numbers. So it was important to capture as many phone numbers as you can, or someone's address, or somebody's name. So these softwares were, when we got into this internet, certain particular software or apps or whatever they were called, were able to do that for you. Capture. If you go here, anything like I say, anything in the search bar, they were able to capture it. And unfortunately, goddamn. I remember one time someone said, and it's this manipulation. And that's why we're in the state we are. If you want to know why we're where we are, then okay. There was a cause. There was manipulation. And back in the day, 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, you can go back as far as you want to go. There have always been those type of manipulating personalities who are always wanting something. And so what they do is they always derive plans on how to get it. How they can take from people. And let me get comfortable here. How they can take from people with as little force as possible. Because they don't want to. A lot of people want to take, but they don't want to be necessarily known. They want to do everything in secrets, in a secret form or in a hidden form, and they make it seem as though we are being willfully turning over information. That we willfully gave these people permission to have all of our information. That's what they do. And so there are some people who just know how to influence, convince, and persuade people. And they usually target women. So take it or leave it. If you don't like it, okay, you don't have to like that. That's an opinion. Remember that. And but all you gotta do is look at the results. That's all I'm saying. So I remember one year, so I got introduced to marketing. I think it was like in 2000. Because I wanted to know, okay, what am I going to do with all this material I'm writing here? I was just writing at a typing at a furious rate and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I said, you know what, let me test the waters on stuff and see if I can self-publish it. And so that's what I did. It involved me doing some research and this and that and the other. So in my ignorance and not understanding, internet and, all the factors that are associated with, there's always going to be somebody behind the scenes looking for ways to take your information and make you feel it and And don't feel bad about it because they said, well, she put it in the search bar, and they always have these disclaimers that you can't find anywhere, and they know they know what they're doing. Let's put it that way, because that's how they do it. A lot of people say they call it a hustle, but honestly, okay, growing up there into the type of culture I grew up in, I don't remember that it was always a deceptive. They were hustling, but there was no deception for it. You remember the candy lady? Okay, you remember the dudes that used to sell stuff on the corner? They were just providing a service, and it was a mutual exchange. If somebody wants some fucking weed, okay, here you go. You pay for it and you go on your way. Okay, were they capturing, did they ask you for your phone number when they were selling you some fucking weed or your email address? No. Now, I don't remember that in my culture. Okay. I mean, if you wanted a particular type of drink, boom, okay, so stop it with all this bullshit about and stealing, hustling. Okay, that's not hustling by being deception and being fraudulent and manipulative. Once again, you're still in terms you don't understand. Okay, that's fraudulent. What's happening now in marketing or whatever it is fraudulent. Okay, it's not a hustle. Okay, you're stealing the terms of certain cultures you don't understand, and you call it a hustle. No, a hustle was not stealing like that. I mean, if you, like I said, if you wanted some fucking weed, crack, or whatever, they would provide you with that shit, and then you go on your damn way. Okay, they did not say, well, hey, let me get your email address, or and all this bullshit. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll come back again because I don't want to make it too long. But because again, I'll tell you about my experience with when I got into marketing, and this was in, like I said, 2000-ish. Maybe it was 1998 to 2000-ish. I don't know particularly, but that's irrelevant, So I can tell you my experiences, so that hey, take it or leave it, and understand what that you're in a whirlpool. Okay, a whirlpool of a certain level of deception and manipulation that it doesn't have to be. Again, in the black culture, all right, when they sold you shit, you paid for it, you moved the fuck on. They knew you were gonna come back as a customer. They didn't have to manipulate you. They knew you would be coming back. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. I want to send peace and love. Get back to you soon.